Haha, okay. Let me just show you what happens behind the scenes in the car launch. So I am here at the launch of the new Honda Civic facelift, and these are all my friends here from the media. And this is the new Civic facelift. What we are seeing here is the highest of four model variants. This is the EHEV basically. It's the hybrid. Below it are three petrol powered models. Pricing start from 133,000 ringgit. This guy here, 167,000 ringgit. If you want to hear a tip from me, my recommendation is out of the four variants to choose from, I would pick the highest spec petrol model, which is about 150,000 ringgit. So, in terms of appearance, at a first glance, the changes, the updates to this Civic FE is relatively minor. There's of course the usual tweaks, new sport rim law, that one common, right? Some adjustments to the bumper. But what Honda has done is that they've actually given quite a substantial tweak to the front end, all right, to a degree that I'm quite surprised. Okay, so the front, this is where Honda made more substantial changes. Okay, now of course, lights are still the same as before, but they have reprofiled the bumper significantly. And what's especially interesting is that if you look at the grille here, this part reminds me of the Mustang. And this lower part of the apron here, this reminds me of the current generation G23 series LCI. Yeah. So the most significant change in terms of appearance is at the front end. Right. Rest of the car looks and feels appears the same. But besides cosmetic changes, in the presentation, Honda team also advised me that they have made some to smoothen out the car's behavior. Let me explain why. So the engine transmission choices are still the same. You have the 1.5 turbo with CVT, or you have a 2-liter NA in the hybrid model here. The hybrid model, of course, is being pushed as the performance variant with about 215 horsepower combined outputs. All right, so that's the performance flagship model. Now, but what was what especially caught my attention during the product presentation was that Honda has paid attention to refining the behavior of the car. Very specifically mentioned that things like regenerative braking response, things like steering correction in the lane keep functions. Okay, they have smoothened the behavior. So instead of the car behaving in this kind of behavior whereby it goes left, right, trying to keep you in the lane, the behavior now is more linear, it's smoother, okay, it's more natural, it's almost Mazda-like in terms of the way, the attention they pay to refine the car's behavior. So if I were to jump from the current gen, the pre-facelift Civic FE into this, I suspect that the difference will not be immediate when you drive it, but it's something is the qualities will be apparent as you live with the car on a day-to-day basis. Now, one of the things about the Honda Civic, okay, we always say that with the Civic, right, Honda tends to be a bit underwhelming when it comes to the odd numbered generation Civics. The even numbered generations like the FD, the FC, they tend to be the ones that that create an impact, and then the ones that follow after that, the FB, and was it's a bit underwhelming. Now, the transition that I remember the time when they transitioned from the FD to the FB. All right, the FB immediately felt like a cut cost version of the FD. So when the FE here was being launched, all right, I had very low expectations of it. And when pictures first came out, true to form, it was a very underwhelming looking car on pictures. But having experienced the car, having driven one or two units, I found that the Civic FE, in its pre-facelift, guys, it built on what the Civic FC had, and became a much more matured package. So much so that if you put this now next to a Mazda 3 and you put the same level of pricing, the Civic actually is able to hold its own. During the time of the FC, not so much. The FC felt like, it was still one step down from a Mazda 3 in terms of the interior ambience, in terms of the cabin quality and all that. But the FE here, all right, you can really tell that Honda really paid attention to improve the cabin quality. So this with the facelift here, I don't expect any significant changes, but then again, I don't believe Honda would have made it worse. So here in the engine room, this is a 2-liter NA engine that's paired to the hybrid motor. Okay, net system output here, 215 horsepower. Now, I want to bring your attention to here. You can see this being the hybrid model. The Honda badge here has a blue highlight, and the grille itself has all these honeycomb structures here, so it gives the front end a much more sportier look. As I mentioned earlier, this part gives me Mustang vibes. This whole shape of the grille gives me Mustang vibes. The corner of the bumper here gives me G20 3 Series LCI vibes. So one of the things that people commented about the pre-facelift FE was that it was a bit too tame in terms of design. So I think my guess is Honda took that comment to heart and they worked on making the front end much more aggressive. Okay, so that's why you have these edges here, you have these edges here, edges here. So this is a design that it pokes your eyes a bit more. You get what I'm saying, right? It's more in your, a bit more in your face compared to the pre-facelift model. And I can already imagine a lot of owners, you see this plastic strip here, a lot of owners will either sticker this black or sticker this chrome. Watch that. All right. So the hybrid RS model here is positioned as the performance variant. So you can see they have more aggressive touches, like the rims are matte black. Okay, the side mirror is black, door handle is black. Okay, gloss black, ah. Okay, so it's not fully black. Okay, it's black here and chrome on top. Okay, gloss black, right? And here's this door frame here also is gloss black. Bring you to the back here. They have not changed the tail lights. They have not changed the tail lights. Spoiler is black. The shark fin antenna also is black. And down here, the lower bumper, they have kept it quite subtle. Okay, quite subtle. It's very discreet. This diffuser element here is very discreet. Only a single tailpipe. Okay, there's also reverse camera right there. So in the boot, so it's a 500 plus liter boot, and no split folding seats. Although the seats can fold, but it's not split folding. So it means that you pull this one, you pull this release, and the whole seat back folds down. Okay, you can see there, Honda has put a brace there, so there's no way you won't be able to achieve a fully flat floor. Okay, because of that brace there, I believe for structural rigidity purposes. So as car enthusiasts, we all dream of being able to enjoy our cars to the fullest, and to be able to do that, we must have the finances in place to take care of things like monthly installments, your fuel, and also maintenance. Now, if we are to depend solely on one source of income to cover all that, then maintaining a car feels incredibly expensive. So this is the reason why I'm now working with Team Infinity Academy, where I not only have access to better tools and strategies to more effectively manage my finances, but also a business opportunity that costs little to get started, practically no running costs, and most importantly, complete with systems and processes that will allow you to start making money from day one. So if you're interested to find out more, there is a link to a form in the description section. Fill it up and I'll be in touch with more information regarding this opportunity. Right now, I'm looking for 3 people to launch a new team with by the end of this month. And with any luck, you and I can be business partners in this exciting project. And now, back to the video. Okay, so the interior, one of the things that I do like about the Civic FE compared to the FC is that when you step in, the increase in quality from the FC is noticeable. Okay, I remember that was one of the first things that I was blown away when I sat inside the Civic FE's cabin for the first time. The step up in quality over the FC really was tremendous. Okay, and they have got some pretty cool design touches. I like how they did the air con vent here. One visual, sort of like one grill here that spans the entire dashboard, but it's and inside it's still a conventional blower here. And this is a nice way to set up the blower adjustment. Okay, so you still got physical knobs here, very nice. Ooh, look at it. The quality is not bad. Overall quality of this cabin really is, I would say if the Mazda 3 is still 10 out of 10, the Civic here is, I would say, a good 9. Okay, design-wise, still not as attractive or as pretty as the Mazda, but quality, definitely up there. All right, so Honda has improved the Civic FE's cabin tremendously when they introduced the pre-facelift model, and they've kept that standard right here in the facelift. Okay, so the center console looks good, well built. You've got a wireless charging tray there, 2 USB-C ports, 12-volt socket. In terms of available space, this is where I find that the partitioning of space here isn't quite as good as you would find, say, in the CRV or the City. Okay, there's a lot of wasted space here and here. The cup holder is big, that tray here there is useful, but this space here is not fully maximized in the way I typically expect Honda to do. Right, but overall, this is a cabin that I have very, very few complaints over. Okay, so here you have it. This is the newly launched Honda Civic FE facelift for first launch of 2025. Is it a very big difference from the outgoing Civic FE pre-facelift? The answer is, I don't see it. Okay, but here's the thing, the Civic FE was already a very good package to start with, so all it needed for it to stay relevant for the next 2-3 years are just minor tweaks here and there, and preserve the built-on and existing winning formula. Now I'm still trying to adjust to this new front look. I kind of like the pre-facelift FE's front look as it is, but I do understand the rationale behind this adjustment. But I think the most important update from what I can see in the presentation just now is that at least that was what's communicated to us, is that Honda is putting the effort to smoothen the way the car reacts and behaves. So in that sense, when you drive one of these, you can look forward to I would say, a significantly more refined driving experience compared to the pre-facelift Civic FE. So in that sense, if Honda manages to achieve that as promised in what they presented, then I think this facelift can actually be considered a job well done. So, but that only can be verified in a test drive. So stay tuned until we get a unit for us to review and video. All right, take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.